Welcome back to Let's Make a Game. In this video, I would like to continue talking about tactical combat. I have done a fair bit of extra code since the last video, so the program now generates a warband, as it did last video, but it also generates and displays the map for the first scenario. So if I press continue, we can see that we have a board with some barriers set up in random places, and we have this pentagram, which is going to be the objective for the scenario. The idea is that the player will try to move one of their characters onto this square, and that will destroy the pentagram and destroy the monsters. Having a goal that is something other than just kill all of the enemy can create the opportunity for more interesting strategies. These barriers are placed randomly, so there'll be a similar number of them each time, but they'll be in different places. And so on. So, let's look at the code. So if you watched the last video, you would have seen me go through this passage. This passage is brand new. I went through this passage and this passage. This passage was there last video, but I didn't open it up and talk about it. And then these two passages are also brand new. So I'll start by dealing with this one. Assign icons. What that does is it looks at the set of pictures that I have to represent the heroes, and it assigns each of the 4 characters in your warband one of those pictures randomly. So we have a for loop that goes from 1 to hero_max. That is the number of characters in the warband, currently 4. We have 2 new variables that we need to talk about. We have icon, which is an array, which tells you which icon a particular hero is using this time. And we have icon_num, short of course for icon_number, which is the number of possible icons. So we start by putting in slot Z a random number from 1 to icon_num. Then, if Z is greater than 1, we check that number against all the numbers we've put so far, looking for duplicates. So the way we do that, we set x equal to 1. We're going to set it to 0 if there's a problem. We have a for loop that goes from 1 to less than z. Note that we normally have less than or equal to at this part of a for loop, but this time we're going to less than z. So if we're in slot 3, we look at slots 1 and 2, but not slot 3. And then if icon y is equal to icon z, we set x equal to 0. We can't have any duplicates. How do we deal with that? Well, at the end of the for loop, if x is equal to 0, we reduce z by 1, which just means that it'll go through the for loop again with the same number. Just makes it pick another one until it picks one that hasn't already been picked. Then we go to initial generation and balance warband. Well, I spoke about those in the last video. Display warband. You probably noticed there's a pattern of alternating light and dark squares, and you probably noticed that the warband pictures, the pictures of the characters, have that same background. Well, we randomly pick light or dark, actually underscore light or underscore dark, because that's how the art is named. I'll show you what that looks like. So we have hero1_dark, hero1_light, and then the same for hero2, hero3, etc. up to 8. This character here is from an earlier version, so that one's not actually currently in use. So we randomly choose light or dark. We have a table. We have a row up the top, which has a blank cell that's specifically 20 pixels wide. This is one of these small cells that's just used to separate the main cells. It's like a little cell in here. We have a cell with the heading C, that's this one up here. We have another little barrier cell, and then we have one with the heading A. Then we go through all of the characters, and for each one we print img art/hero icon Z, so which icon they're using, so that might be hero 6 plus Y, so that will be _light or _dark .png. Then we have another little barrier. Then we print their combat score, yet another little barrier, and then we print their activation score times 5 with the character %. So you'll remember that the characters had an activation score between 7 and 15, but we don't print it like that, we turn it into a percentage. So multiply it by 5, this one would have been 8, for example. Oops, sorry. This person would actually have an activation score of 8, but we just multiply that by 5 and say 40%. And then if Y is equal to _light, we turn it to _dark, or vice versa. If it was dark, we turn it to light. So that means that the heroes would be printed with alternating dark and light backgrounds. That's all that does. And then at the bottom, we print the total warband value and a button to continue. And that seems to be all I have time for this time. So I'll talk about how we create the map and display the map in the next video. I will leave it there for now. I hope that was useful or interesting to at least some of you, and I hope you will tune in next time.